Falcon fan? This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. So today we're going to talk about that 2022 draft class and how these guys can definitely figure out what the Atlanta Falcons going to be doing this offseason. The progression of these guys this season, what they was able to do on the field, is going to really shine some light on the idea of the direction the Falcons could be going in a lot of positions. So we got to look at the work these guys did on the field. A lot of these guys was actually able to play a lot of snaps this year, and we know that jump from year one to year two is definitely going to have to show out for some of these guys. So based off this, what are the Falcons going to do with these guys on this draft class? With that being said, guys, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you don't know I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like hear what I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in to hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So before we get into the 2022 draft class, we're going to go ahead and get some news. Atlanta Falcons go ahead and re-sign Parker Hesse to the Atlanta Falcons squad for this year. So there's two guys they signed. They signed our long snapper, Liam McCollum, yesterday, and today they signed Parker Hesse. So guys that we knew probably had potential being back with this team. Low salary deals, don't have the numbers right now, but it's not going to really, hurt too much into our salary cap. But it's good to bring those guys back on. We need a long snapper, somebody who's familiar with the team. But then Parker Hesse actually played a big role for the Atlanta Falcons this season. He did a lot of blocking, playing that fullback role. A lot when they went 12 on personnel, Parker Hesse was really big for us in the run game for the Atlanta Falcons. So I'm not surprised on either one of these guys coming back. And let's see who else they bring in. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about this 2022 draft class. And believe it or not, this draft class probably have a little bit more importance than the 2021 draft class because a lot of these guys play big roles in this season. And based off the way they played, it can really shine a light on a lot of the decisions that the Falcons decide to make this offseason. All right, so both classes, the 2021 draft class and the 2022 draft class is definitely big parts of the future. But I would definitely say that this draft class really could give you an idea of what the Atlanta Falcons think about these guys and some of the decisions they really decide to make this offseason. So let's go ahead and talk about the first pick. Drake London was picked number 8 overall. Was a surprise to a lot of us. A lot of us thought they was going defense, but at the end of the day, I think the Falcons got it right. These last two seasons, it seemed like they've been doing their homework, doing their due diligence, sticking to their plan, and for the most part, they've been getting things right. So Drake London was definitely a good pick for the Atlanta Falcons. He ended up with 866 yards, 72 receptions, and 4 touchdowns. And I think he solidified himself as the number 1 receiver for the Atlanta Falcons. So, bright futures for him. We had to find somebody to come in after we got rid of Julio and Calvin Ridley. So Drake London is definitely going to be that guy. Hopefully we can go ahead and get a number 2 guy to go along beside him. We saw Robert Woods actually get released from the Titans yesterday. Could he be that veteran guy, the number 2 guy? Robert Woods had some good season with the Los Angeles Rams. Not so much with the Tennessee Titans, but if Robert Woods come in to be that bona fide number 2 for the Atlanta Falcons, veteran receiver, I think it could be a good marriage for him. Not sure if he want to come to another run-heavy team, but I know Arthur Smith is going to open up the offense a little bit more. Not so much on the run. That's what we do well. He want to run the ball, but at the same time, I think he want to stretch the field as well. Got to with the weapons we have with Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and if you add a guy like Robert Woods in, that would be awesome. The next guy on the list, the Falcons actually moved up in the draft to go get him, Armor Evakady, A lot of people had him at the first round grade. Arnold Ebiketie showed so many flashes this offseason. I think the sky's the limit for this guy. I definitely believe that he can become a dominant pass rusher for us in this league because I think he has the work ethic. He already has some of the necessary rush moves that you need to be a pass rusher. You can already see the flashes. Like I said, he ended up with 30 tackles, 2.5 sacks, two forced fumbles, and one tackle for a loss. So Armour Ebiketie, so like I said, showed a lot to us. Get back in the lab with Chuck Smith this offseason like he did last offseason. See, can you hone some of those skills? And I really believe he's going to have the jump that we have. This pick is really, really important because it could shine a light on what the Falcons think about him if they decide to go draft another pass rusher in the draft or sign a free agent pass rusher. Let's let us know what they think about a guy like Armour Ebiketie. All right, next on the list is Troy Anderson, just an ultra athlete, played 3 or 4 positions at Montana State before he was drafted to the Atlanta Falcons. Guy plays in speed, big linebacker. Going to see what Ron Nielsen is going to be able to do with him. Only started 5 games for the Atlanta Falcons because he was playing behind Michael Walker, but came in with 40 tackles, 1 forced fumble. I think he can definitely be a blitzing linebacker for us with his speed and his size. So sort of like what they do with the Mario Davis and with the Aints. So definitely something that I can see envision with a guy like Troy Anderson. This guy is an athlete, can run sideline to sideline, needs to work on his coverage, and he need to be able to recognize plays quicker, right? And I think that's just going to come with time because remember, guys, he wasn't a full-time linebacker in college. He was playing so many different positions, but smart kid, I think he's going to be able to get that jump that we need from year 1 to year 2. All right, the next pick is probably the most important pick in this class because it's really going to give us shine a light on what the Atlanta Falcons think about Desmond Ridder. We all know he only played 4 games, ended up with 708 yards, 2 touchdowns, 63.5 completion percentage, improved every game that he played. So I could just see this guy come in OTAs, knowing he's a starter, going into the training camp, being that starter, getting into the playbook, developing that leadership with his teammates. The sky's the limit for Des Ridder. It just, if the Atlanta Falcons feel that same way, we'll just have to find out. But Desmond Ridder, could he be the next franchise quarterback for Atlanta Falcons? We don't know. That's why this offseason is so exciting. But all time is ticking. We'll really learn a lot about what they think about Desmond Ridder coming in the next weeks or months, right? We'll definitely get a good glance to see with that. All right, the next guy, D'Angelo Malone, coming out of Western Kentucky. This guy right here was fast off the ball, just a explosive athlete. Didn't get a lot of playing time this year with the Atlanta Falcons, but he ended up with 29 tackles, 4 tackles for a loss. So he took advantage of the times he did get in there. Another guy that I think could definitely have that jump from year 1 to year 2. Like I said, get in the lab with a guy like Chuck Smith. See, can you develop any more pass routes? Maybe get a little bit more size on you, but I just think he need opportunity to play. And like I said, these 2 guys that they picked up in the offseason, are they going to let these guys develop, or are they going to go out and get a veteran to bring in, or are they going to go and get another pass rusher in the draft? We don't know. We just have to see. But both of these guys are young. You know you're going to get that jump from year 1 to year 2. You got to invest, see what you got invested into your draft pick. So it's really going to be interesting what the coaching staff and the front office think about a guy like Armour Ebiketie and D'Angelo Malone. The next guy on the list is Tyler Algier, 5th round pick, just a straight up monster. I think they found their number 1 back for the next couple of years in this Atlanta Falcon franchise. This right here should stop all the Bijan Robinson takes that people want to see the Atlanta Falcons pick him in the first round. Bijan Robinson is a great running back. That would be a luxury pick in my opinion if they were to go get that because they do not need him. They got Cordell Patterson, they got Tyler Algier, got Avery Williams to change the pace back. Right, you could actually get a running back in the draft, but getting a guy in the first round, like I said, that would be really a luxury pick for Atlanta Falcons and not really a need for this team. Tyler Algier ended up with 210 rushes, 1,035 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4.9 yards per carry. And he only played in 16 games, and he only started 7 of those games. So the production could have been a lot higher. Remember, he actually was one of the guys that didn't even play the first game. So that he was an inactive guy the first game of the season. So just think about that. Could have gave him the starting position, and no telling what numbers he could have put up. Probably could end up being the offensive rookie of the year, but got a late run to it. But this is a monster. Guy breaks a lot of tackles, and I can tell you this: those defenders in the fourth quarter do not want to tackle Tyler Algier. So I think the running back room is set. They do go get a running back, it'll be later in the rounds. I know they're not going to probably bring a running back in free agency. So I think the running back room is set. The last 2 guys on the list did not really actually get in this year. John Fitzpatrick was on the IR, but I definitely believe he's going to be one of the 4 tight ends that we keep this offseason. Michael Pruitt. Of course, they just re-signed Parker Hesse and Kyle Pitts, of course. Don't know what they're going to do for Felipe Franks. He was another guy that could definitely bring back into the fold. But John Fitzpatrick never really actually got on the field this year. Justin Schaefer actually was cut. He was thin, but he was actually brought back on the practice squad. Development coming in. Guy that I think could definitely be potential to be a depth lineman for us. Or potentially get an opportunity. Maybe be a starter. We don't know. But we haven't seen a lot of Justin Schaefer. He's going to have to take advantage this offseason and OTA training camp and his preseason games to show the Atlanta Falcons what he got. But guys, like I said, this is an important draft class for the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, it's the second draft class. The first draft class was just as important, but I think this right here can really shape the Atlanta Falcons for a long time. They got a number 1 receiver, 2 great pass rushes. If they could develop the 2 bookends on the end, a linebacker that's young, fast, big, and smart that really could really grow, possibly a franchise quarterback and our big monster running back. So this is a good draft for the Atlanta Falcons, and I believe that this draft right here and what these guys think about these guys going forward is definitely going to help us kind of figure out the direction the Atlanta Falcons are going to go. You need depth. We know that. So not saying they will not draft a player in any of these positions, but this is a good start for the Atlanta Falcons. It's a young team. These guys all can grow together. Which, a couple of years from down the road, it's going to be really tough to try to these guys all hit. It's going to be a high price tag for this team, but at the same time, just let you know that the quality of guys that they're drafting, that they're hitting on most of these guys, and you have to love that. Young team, these first 2 draft classes that the Atlanta Falcons had, definitely is going to shape the way they decide to do their business this offseason, and I really believe that. Really want to hear what you guys got to say about the 2021 draft class and the 2022 draft class, and how both of those draft class is definitely going to provide some kind of insight of what these guys is going to be able to do moving forward. And that's all I have for today. This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.